All praises, all praises, all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, and all there is. This is Revelations.UNVEILED.DETROIT. Hello, family. We are back together again, once again to discuss, discern, elaborate, and expand on our intellectual and spiritual knowledge. And the subject of our visit, our congregation today, is the word more, M-O-O-R. And so, throughout our language or our interactions and associations with various people of color, black people, we'll hear some of the brothers describe themselves as Moors. And then throughout the history of the dark ages of Europe, we hear about the Moorish empires and the Moorish kings. And we also hear of the ancient and historical kingdoms and empires of the Moors within the continent of Africa. So, we'll take a little bit of time to begin to scratch the surface of this word more, and then hopefully it'll give us some further insight. And so, as we know, when we come together in our congregation, we are the 12 tribes of the house of Jacob, the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. And so with our expanded insight from the Holy Creator, with our spiritual eyes open and our spiritual ear abound, we will then begin to peel back the layers of history, because we know that the continent of Africa is originally named the land of Ham. We know that the Judites, the Jews, were expelled from their original homeland between 65 and 70 AD, and many of those people fled into the interiors of the continent of Africa, the land of Ham. And there was a lot of intermixing and breeding, and a lot of Hebrew, so-called Jewish colonies, states, and empires arose amongst the native Africans. And we also know that there was an invasion of the Islamic forces into the northern parts of Africa. And there was the beginning of a complex relationship. The black Arabs bringing Islam or Mohammedanism introduced to the native Hamitic Africans, and then becoming enemies of the Hebrew Israelite communities within the continent. So, with all of that intermingled history, let's find out how the term Moor was applied to this same group of three distinct people: native Hamites, so-called black Arabs, and Hebrew Israelites in the land of Ham. And we began. The Moors. Who and what? Part 2. Misconceptions about etymology, or the source of the word. Contrary to popular belief, the English word Moor does not descend from Almoravid, the name of the dynasty that controlled much of present-day Morocco, Mauritania, and southern Spain from 1040 to 1147 AD. Almoravid is actually an anglicized version of the Arabic name Al-Moribitan, which roughly means those who are ready to defend. As aforementioned, the Latin and Greek versions of the word Moor were used several centuries prior to the existence of the Almoravid dynasty. According to Arab histories, during the dynasty's reign, the Almoravids were not even native to Africa, but from Arabia. The Moors in ancient and medieval European history. The Romans thoroughly documented the lives of indigenous Africans to whom they commonly referred to as Moors. But by the 4th century AD, the Roman army heavily recruited Moors for their exceptional skills in battle. One such Moorish general, Aemilianus, 207 through 253 AD, as described in Epitome de Caesaribus, was so skilled that he was made emperor in the Roman province of Moesia, which is the Balkan Peninsula, albeit only for 4 months' time. Other skilled Africans were made Catholic patron saints, such as the popular Saint Maurice or Mauritius in Latin, as described in Passio Martyrum Canisium, the Passion of the Martyrs of Aganim, by French Bishop Saint Eucharius. According to the text, Saint Maurice lived around 286 AD and was believed to be part of the Theban legion of Egyptian Christians who served in the Roman army under his command. Saint Maurice's brigade was supposedly decimated for disobeying orders to kill Christians in Roman Helvetia, modern-day Switzerland. The oldest known physical representation of him, however, was not created until 1281 AD. A detailed statue now housed in the Cathedral of Magdeburg, Germany. Neither Aemilianus nor Saint Maurice were so-called Mauritania, Latin for Matveritania, which is erroneously believed to be the name of an ancient Roman province along the northwestern coast of Africa. This particular region was neither called Mauritania in any known ancient literary text, nor was it named after the so-called Maori tribe, as many modern historians believe. Maori is merely the plural form of the Latin transliteration Moorus, as mentioned above. The oldest known map of the region shows its name as Tingi or Tingitana. Instead, Roman Catholic writers of the 5th through 9th century AD use Mauritania synonymously with all of Africa, not any one particular region. All praises, family. So as we see, the term Moor originally began simply to describe the dark or so-called black or dark brown skin complexion of so-called Africans. And so we know that there were black Jews or Hebrew Israelites within Spain and Portugal and various parts of the European peninsula during the Dark Ages. We know during the course of the Islamic invasion by black Arabs into the continent of Africa, there was a major conversion and a sub-Saharan slave trade, So all those who did not accept Islam or convert were either killed or taken as slaves and walked through the sub-Saharan deserts into the Arabian Peninsula for sale. We also know that there was an Islamic invasion into the European Peninsula as well. So there is a major Islamic, African, and Hebrew Israelite culture and history in the European continent through what was called the Dark Ages, which ironically describes the nobility of that time, the black peoples, the dark-skinned melanated men who were transforming the culture of the European continent as the so-called Caucasians were dwelling within the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. So when we hear the term Moor, Moori, Moroon, Moranus, Mori, they're all European derivations of English, Latin, German, Portuguese terms of the simple word Moor, which is simply a dark-skinned people. The people described as coming from the continent of Africa into the European continent during the Dark Ages, which consisted of the native Africans themselves, black Arab Islamics, and Hebrew Israelites. So family, we will continue to explore not only the term, but the intricate history of the Moor. So, we shall resume together in love and education, edification for the holy hidden nation. And until we are together again, I love you. I love you. I love you. This is Revelations.Unveiled.Detroit.